In the arena of human relationships, trust is a luxury few can afford. 500 years ago, Niccolo Machiavelli taught us that power, whether on a throne or in a friendship, is won through strategy, not sentiment. What if the key to mastering your relationships lies in the ruthless wisdom of a Renaissance philosopher? What if the betrayals you've endured, the heartbreak you've felt, could have been avoided with a single shift in perspective? Today, we'll uncover 3 of Machiavelli's most powerful principles and show you how to use them to gain the upper hand in any relationship, whether it's with friends who drift like shadows, colleagues who vie for dominance, or lovers who hold your heart in their unsteady hands. Prepare to see the world through Machiavelli's eyes, where every connection is a battlefield and only the shrewdest emerge. Victorious Niccolo Machiavelli, a man who peered into the abyss of human nature, wrote in The Prince that humans are fickle, driven by self-interest, and quick to betray when the winds of fortune shift. He saw the world not as a tapestry of kindness, but as a chessboard where every move is calculated, every smile a potential mask for deceit. For Machiavelli, relationships are not about love or loyalty. They are about power, a delicate balance of control and influence that determines who rises and who falls. To thrive, you must master the art of deception, the craft of influence, the cold precision of control. In our daily lives, relationships are a battlefield of hidden motives, a labyrinth where trust is a rare and dangerous currency. We navigate this maze with hearts open, hoping for connection, but often finding betrayal instead, a friend's envy, a partner's indifference, a colleague's ambition. These are the arrows that pierce us, the wounds that remind us of our vulnerability. But what if we could turn this battlefield to our advantage? What if we could wield the same strategies that Machiavelli taught to princes, using them to shape our relationships into a fortress of our own making? Let us embark on this journey through Machiavelli's mind, where the rules of human connection are rewritten and the power to dominate lies within your grasp. Let us learn how to navigate this treacherous terrain and emerge not as victims, but as victors. Have you ever felt the sting of betrayal, a friend's whispered gossip, a lover's broken promise, or a colleague's sly sabotage? In those moments when the ground beneath you crumbles, you realize a harsh truth. Trust is a fragile illusion, a house of glass waiting to shatter at the first strike of self-interest. We build our lives on the hope that those we care for will care for us in return, but hope, as Machiavelli knew, is a cruel mirage in the desert of human nature. Picture yourself at a crossroads in your relationships, your heart open, your guard down, offering the best of who you are. You share your dreams with a friend, believing they'll celebrate your light, but instead their envy casts a shadow, their words laced with subtle disdain. You pour your soul into a partner, trusting they'll hold you gently, but their indifference cuts like a blade, leaving you to wonder where you went wrong. At work, you confide in a colleague, hoping for camaraderie, only to find your secrets weaponized, your ideas stolen, your trust turned to ash. In the shadows, motives lurk. A friend envies your success, a partner takes your loyalty for granted, a coworker plots to outshine you. Each smile hides a dagger, each kind word a potential trap. The pain of being used, of being diminished, cuts deeper than any blade. Doesn't it? That hollow ache of realizing you've been played. It's a wound that lingers, a scar that whispers caution with every beat of your heart. We've all walked this path, haven't we? We've all felt the weight of misplaced trust, the bitter taste of betrayal that lingers long after the moment has passed. I remember a time when I trusted too easily, when I believed that kindness would be met with kindness, that loyalty would beget loyalty. A friend I held dear, someone I'd shared my deepest fears with, turned those fears against me in a moment of conflict. Their words, a venom that poisoned our bond. The betrayal was a lesson, a harsh awakening to the reality Machiavelli saw so clearly in relationships. Vulnerability is a luxury we cannot afford. Machiavelli saw through this masquerade of human connection. He understood that to survive, to thrive, you must wield power over your relationships, not surrender to them. His principles are not for the faint of heart. They are for those who dare to stand unyielding, who refuse to be pawns in another's game. They are for those who have felt the sting of betrayal and vowed never to feel it again, for those who seek not just to survive, but to dominate. Let us now uncover his first and most foundational lesson, a truth that will transform the way you navigate the treacherous waters of human bonds, a truth that will arm you with the power to protect yourself and rise above the chaos. Let us begin with one of Niccolo Machiavelli's most enduring truths, a principle carved from the stone of human nature itself. It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. In the quiet chambers of the prince, Machiavelli whispers a bitter reality. Love is fleeting, a fragile thread, easily snapped by betrayal or indifference, but fear. Fear is a chain that binds unyielding and eternal. To be loved is to be vulnerable, to open your heart to the whims of others, to hope they will cradle your trust gently. But hope, my friends, is a dangerous illusion in the battlefield of relationships. Fear, on the other hand, ensures respect. It builds a fortress around your dignity, a barrier that others dare not cross. When you are feared, your words carry weight, your boundaries become sacred, and your presence commands reverence. This is the first lesson Machiavelli offers us in mastering the art of human connection to dominate. You must first be untouchable. Imagine for a moment a friendship at work, a colleague you've shared laughter with, perhaps even secrets. You've stayed late together brainstorming ideas, building what you thought was a bond of mutual respect. But one day you notice they've taken credit for your idea in a meeting, their smile masking a quiet betrayal. The sting of it burns, doesn't it? That hollow ache of being overlooked, diminished, as if your efforts were nothing more than a stepping stone for their ambition. You feel the weight of your trust betrayed, the bitter realization that your kindness was seen as weakness. Now picture this. What if early on you had set a boundary so clear, so firm, that they would never have dared to cross you? If they had known that disrespecting you would come at a cost, perhaps a cold distance, perhaps a sharp rebuke in front of others, they would have thought twice. Fear in this moment is not cruelty, it is protection. It is the shield that guards your worth, ensuring that those around you tread carefully, honoring the space you've carved for yourself. In the workplace where alliances shift like shadows on a moonless night, being feared means being respected, and respect is the currency of power. Now let us turn to the delicate dance of romance, where emotions run deep and the heart is laid bare. To love is to surrender, to offer your soul to another, to weave your dreams into theirs with the hope of a shared future. But to be loved alone is to risk becoming a doormat, a shadow of yourself diminished by the very person you hold dear. If your partner knows you'll always stay no matter how they treat you, what incentive do they have to cherish you? What reason do they have to honor the sacred bond you've built? I've seen it too often. Friends who poured their hearts into relationships only to be taken for granted. Their devotion met with apathy. But what if they had instilled a subtle fear, a quiet reminder of their strength? If your partner senses your independence, if they know you can walk away without a backward glance, that you are a flame that burns brightly with or without them, they will fear losing you. That fear becomes the spark that keeps them attentive, that reminds them of your value. I'm not speaking of terror, but of a subtle, unspoken fear. The fear of your absence, the fear of your resolve. In romance, this fear is the quiet force that deepens their devotion, for it is born not from malice, but from the recognition of your power. Let us not forget the realm of family, where bonds are often assumed to be unbreakable, yet can harbor the deepest wounds. A sibling who belittles your achievements, a parent who dismisses your dreams. Their words can erode your spirit, a slow drip of poison that seeps into your soul. You might endure it, telling yourself that family is sacred, that love demands patience. But Machiavelli would see this as folly. If they do not respect you, their love is a hollow shell, a facade that masks their disdain. By setting firm boundaries, by making it clear that their disrespect will cost them your presence, you instill a fear that commands respect. Perhaps they will learn, perhaps they will not, but you will have protected your peace, and that is a victory in itself. Machiavelli's wisdom here is a paradox that cuts to the core of human connection. To be feared is to be safe. In relationships, those who are too eager to please, too desperate for love, invite exploitation. Their kindness becomes a weakness, a door left ajar, for others to walk through and take what they will. But when you command fear, you command respect, and respect is the foundation of dominance. To apply this in your life, establish your worth from the very beginning. Don't be overly accommodating. Don't shrink to fit others' expectations. Let them know there are consequences for crossing you. Whether it's a friend who disrespects you, a partner who takes you for granted, or a family member who undermines you. A cold distance, a firm word, a boundary, unshaken. These are the tools of fear wielded not to harm, but to protect. In the end, Machiavelli teaches us that true power in relationships lies not in being adored, but in being revered. For Only then are you truly untouchable. Machiavelli taught that a wise leader never reveals their true motives. Let others see what you want them to see. He advised vulnerability invites attack. Mystery ensures control. In the fragile web of relationships, to lay your heart bare is to hand your enemies a map to your ruin. Every word, every glance, every gesture must be a carefully crafted illusion, a mask that hides your deepest desires. When your intentions remain shrouded, you become an enigma, a force that others cannot predict, cannot manipulate, cannot destroy. To dominate, you must master the art of deception, weaving a tapestry of appearances that shields your true self from the prying eyes of those who would use it against you. Consider a friendship where trust feels like a sacred bond, a sanctuary from the chaos of the world. You share your fears, your dreams, your insecurities, hoping for understanding, for a connection that transcends the superficial. But what if that friend, in a moment of weakness, uses your confessions against you? Perhaps they reveal your secrets to gain favor with others, or they mock your vulnerabilities to feel superior. Their laughter, a dagger in your heart. The betrayal cuts deep, a wound that festers with regret. A reminder of the cost of openness. I've walked this path. As many of you have a friend I trusted with my deepest fears. Turn those fears into ammunition. During a heated argument, their words of betrayal that left me reeling. The lesson was harsh but clear. Vulnerability is a luxury I could not afford. Now imagine if you had held back, if you had shared just enough to seem open, but kept your true self veiled in shadow. They would have no weapons to wield against you, no leverage to exploit. In friendships, mystery is your armor. Wear it well and you will never be struck down. At work, this principle becomes a sharp blade in the art of negotiation, a tool to tilt the scales in your favor. Picture yourself asking for a raise, your palms sweaty, your voice trembling with need. You've been working tirelessly, pouring your heart into your job, and you need this raise to make ends meet. But if your boss senses your desperation, they hold all the power they can offer you. Crumbs knowing you'll take them, knowing you have no choice. The shame of being undervalued, of begging for what you deserve, weighs heavy on your shoulders. But what if you conceal your urgency? What if you walk into that office with a calm smile, speaking of your value, hinting at other opportunities waiting for you? Perhaps you mention a recruiter who reached out, or a project you led that saved the company. Thousands, you don't need to lie, but you must craft the illusion of abundance. If they believe you might leave, they'll fear losing a valuable asset. Your hidden intentions create a pressure they cannot ignore, bending the balance of power in your favor. In the realm of romance, concealing your intentions can be the difference between being cherished and being taken for granted. Early in a relationship, you might be tempted to lay all your cards on the table, to profess your love, to reveal how deeply you care, to show them the depths of your devotion. But what if they don't feel the same? What if your openness makes you seem too eager, too available, stripping away the mystery that fuels desire? I've seen this play out. A friend who poured her heart out to a new partner, only to watch them grow distant, their interest fading as her desperation grew. If she had held back, if she had let her feelings simmer beneath the surface, she might have kept them intrigued. By concealing your full intentions, you keep your partner guessing, wondering, yearning to unravel the enigma that is you. Let them see your affection, but never the full depth of your heart, not until they've earned it in romance. Mystery is the flame that keeps the fire burning, a delicate dance of revelation and restraint. In the dance of human connection, transparency is a liability. Like a chess master, you must move with purpose while hiding your endgame. Those who cannot read you cannot harm you. Practice emotional restraint. Share just enough to seem open, but never reveal your full hand. In every interaction, ask yourself, what do I want them to believe about me? When you master the art of concealment, you master the art of control, for in the shadows of your intentions lies the power to shape others' perceptions and their actions. To dominate, you must become a phantom, in the light seen yet unseen, known yet unknowable. Machiavelli warned, if an injury must be done, it should be so severe that you need not fear revenge. In relationships, a small threat left unchecked can become your downfall. A whispered rumor, a subtle slight, a quiet act of envy. These are the seeds of betrayal. And if you allow them to take root, they will grow into a storm that engulfs you. To dominate, you must be ruthless, not in cruelty, but in clarity. You must sever the ties that poison, uproot the weeds that choke your peace, and ensure that those who would harm you are left with no power to do so. In the delicate tapestry of human bonds, hesitation is a fatal flaw. Action, swift and decisive, is the mark of the powerful. In a social circle, imagine a friend who begins to spread rumors about you. Their words like venom seeping into the minds of others. At first, you might brush it off, hoping their malice will fade, telling yourself they're just jealous that they'll come around. But with each whispered lie, your reputation erodes your standing, weakens, and soon the group you once called your own begins to turn away. Their eyes clouded with doubt. The betrayal stings a bitter reminder of your naivety, a scar that marks the cost of inaction. I've felt this pain as so-called friend who spread lies about my character, turning a circle I cherished into a den of suspicion. I waited too long, hoping for reconciliation. But the damage was done. Machiavelli would not have hesitated. He would have confronted this threat head-on, call out their behavior publicly, expose their deceit in front of the group. Let the truth be a mirror that reflects their shame. And if they persist, cut them from your life entirely, a clean severance that leaves no room for their poison to return. A gossip unchecked will poison your world. Remove them before their words take root and let the lesson echo to others. Betrayal comes at a cost, and you are not one to be trifled with. Within the family, the stakes are even higher, for love and obligation often cloud our judgment, binding us to those who harm us most. Picture a relative who constantly undermines you, perhaps a sibling who belittles your achievements at every gathering, their words a sharp blade cloaked in jest, or a parent who dismisses your dreams, their disapproval, a heavy chain that drags you down, their voice echoing in your mind long after you have left their presence. Their words chip away at your spirit, a slow drip of poison that seeps into your soul, eroding your confidence, your sense of self. You might endure it, telling yourself that family is sacred, that you must forgive, that blood ties demand your patience. But Machiavelli would shake his head in disapproval. Do not let familiarity breed contempt, he would say. Protect your peace, even if it means distance. Set firm boundaries, limit contact, refuse to engage in their negativity, and let them feel the weight of your absence. Perhaps they'll come to see the error of their ways, perhaps they'll remain blind, but you will have freed yourself from their shadow. I've had to do this with a family member whose constant criticism left me doubting my worth. It was a painful choice, but the peace I found in their absence was a liberation I never knew I needed. In family, as in all relationships, your well-being must be your fortress, and no one, not even blood, should be allowed to breach its walls. In professional settings, threats often masquerade as ambition, their danger cloaked in the guise of competition. Imagine a coworker who competes with you for a promotion. Their flattery, a thin veil over their intent to outshine you. They offer to collaborate, but their suggestions undermine your work. Their praise, a smokescreen for their sabotage. At first, you might see it as healthy competition, a chance to prove your worth. But as their actions escalate, perhaps they take credit for your contributions or spread doubts about your competence. You feel the ground slipping beneath you, your dreams of advancement fading into their shadow. Machiavelli would counsel swift action. Do not let their ambition fester. Confront their behavior directly. Document your contributions to ensure your work is recognized, and if necessary, distance yourself from their influence by seeking allies higher up. A threat in the workplace is a fire waiting to spread. Extinguish it before it consumes you, and let your decisiveness be a warning to others. In the garden of relationships, weeds must be uprooted swiftly. To dominate, you cannot afford to nurture those who would betray you. Strength lies in decisiveness. Act before the storm arrives. Identify potential threats early, whether it's a friend who envies you, a family member who undermines you, or a colleague who competes with you. Neutralize them by setting boundaries or removing them from your circle entirely. When you strike with precision, ensuring that the threat is extinguished before it can grow. For in the realm of human connection, only the resolute survive and only the ruthless thrive. Machiavelli's principles, be feared more than loved, conceal your intentions, and eliminate threats, are not just for princes. They are for anyone seeking to dominate in their relationships. Relationships are a game of power played on the board of human nature, a tapestry woven with threads of trust and betrayal, love and deceit. To win, you must think like Machiavelli, not with your heart, but with your mind. You must become a fortress, unyielding and untouchable, a force that others cannot break. These lessons are not easy. They demand courage, clarity, and a willingness to see the world as it is, not as we wish it to be. But for those who dare to embrace them, they offer a power that few can rival, a mastery over human connection that ensures you will never again be a pawn in another's game? Which of these tactics will you use in your life? Will you set boundaries that command respect or weave a mask of mystery to shield your intentions? Perhaps you'll sever the ties that threaten your peace, reclaiming the power that is rightfully yours. Drop a comment and let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts, your stories, your reflections on this journey through Machiavelli's wisdom. If this video opened your eyes, if it stirred something deep within you, hit that like button and subscribe for more lessons in mastering power. Together, let us walk this path of dominance where every relationship becomes a stepping stone to our greatness.